plenty of different roller coasters out there, and because of that, there are plenty of different companies out there that manufacture these coasters. A lot of times you could tell a coaster is manufactured by a certain company by the track type, the trains, the restraints, and just the style of the ride in general. There are definitely plenty of manufacturers out there. Some are more well-known than others, some have produced more coasters than others, and some are definitely, I'd say, better than others. But today I'll be counting down, in my opinion, the top 10 best roller coaster manufacturers. Now, I'll be basing this off a few things, including innovation, their quality of their coasters, and just variety of coasters in general. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. So number 10 is going to be Aerodynamics. Now, this company is based out of Clearfield, Utah, and they were founded in 1946 and shut down in 2002. And this is by far one of the most innovative companies out there. Actually have quite a lot of history between 1946 and 1981, they were known as Aero Development, and then between 1981 and 1986, they were Aero Hus, and then after 1986, they just changed to Aerodynamics. Now, this company has produced tons of really innovative coasters, including the world's first tubular steel coaster, the Matterhorn bobsleds at Disneyland, the world's first modern inverting steel coaster with corkscrew at Knott's Berry Farm, the world's first hypercoaster with Magnum XL 200 at Cedar Point, the world's first suspended coaster with the Bat at Kings Island, and the world's first fourth dimension coaster with X at Six Flags Magic Mountain, now known as X2. And they've just produced so many really innovative coasters, and some great coasters out there, like X2 and Magnum are both great rides. They've also produced some other great hypercoasters and some great looping coasters, like Tennessee Tornado, Desperado, which is likely closing, but is still a very good ride. They have had some fails in the past, like Dragonfire, but they've had so many great rides. They've made so many innovative coasters, and just they really truly left an imprint on the community that will last forever with just all their innovation. So number 9 is going to be Gerstlauer. Now, this company was founded in 1982, and they're based out of, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I think it's Munsterhausen or something like that, Germany. And this manufacturer's best coaster is definitely Der Schwertes Carillon at Hersheypark, which is a hypercoaster. It's actually a very unique ride. This company is mainly known for their Eurofighters, which have a vertical lift up beyond vertical drop, and several inversions and like some bank turns and stuff. These include like Mystery Mine, Daredevil Dive, SpongeBob SquarePants, Rock Bottom Plunge, Fluke von Novgorod, and plenty of other ones. They also create the Infinity Coasters, which are basically bigger versions of the Eurofighters, which have longer trains, which these include Monster, Hang Time, and Smiler, which actually has the most inversions out of any coaster in the world. And some of their coasters feature launches as well, which is really cool. Also manufactured the steepest coaster in the world, TMNT Shellraiser, at Nickelodeon University and the American Dream Mall. They also have some spinning coasters like the Pandemonium Clones, Galaxy Orbiter, Shredder, and some other family coasters. But they're mainly known for their Eurofighters, and they definitely make some pretty good rides, but they're just not great. They're fairly repetitive. But Der Schwertes Carillon's just a crazy ride. It's a very unique hypercoaster. It's mainly focused on like intense bank turns and some cool theming elements and some surprises and stuff. It only has one inversion, but that's later on in the ride. But it does have some cool airtime moments. But it's overall a very unique hypercoaster. It's not the best manufacturer out there. I think they might be a bit overrated, but it's still a great company, and they definitely produce a lot of really solid fun coasters. So number 8 is going to be Custom Coasters International. This company was founded in 1991 and shut down in 2002. They are based out of West Chesterfield, Ohio. And I actually not ridden a coaster by them, but they produced plenty of really great looking wooden roller coasters. They produce solely wooden roller coasters, not any steel coasters. They produce some great wooden coasters out there. Their best coaster is probably Boulder Dash at Lake Compounce, which is a out and back terrain wooden coaster, but they've also produced some other great rides like Tremors at Silverwood, Boulder Dash at Lake Compounce, Legend and Raven both at Holiday World, as well as just many other great rides. They definitely created just a lot of really, really fun looking coasters. The rides, focus on having, really good airtime, look to have some pretty good laterals, and looks like some pretty intense rides. and they pretty much, actually some of the employees from CCI went on to create the Gravity Group, which will be later on this list, so that's kind of cool. This is overall a really nice company, and they produced some really great wooden coasters. And number 7 is going to be another solely wooden roller coaster manufacturer, Great Coasters International. This company was founded back in 1994, and they're based out of Sunbury, Pennsylvania. They actually haven't produced too many coasters, only 29, but they definitely produced some great coasters, with their best coaster being likely Wood Coaster at Night Valley, which is an insanely long, airtime packed ride that really interacts with the terrain. They've also produced some other great coasters like Jungle Dragon, Thunderhead, Renegade, Mystic Timbers, Gold Striker, and they even did a pretty extensive retrack on Ghost Rider at Knott's Berry Farm, which is a CCI. They gave it new trains, did some retracking, just gave it a whole overhaul, and they definitely just are a really good company. Even some of their rides have like station flybys, like Thunderhead, in Troy at Toverland. Their rides are really characterized by their great abundance of ejector airtime, really intense bank turns and great transitions, really good laterals, their curved drops, just lots of twistiness throughout. However, they have produced some more airtime focused rides that sort of more out and back layouts like White Lightning or Invader. They've produced some smaller coasters, well, some more thrilling coasters. They haven't produced anything like gigantic, but they definitely have produced some really, really good wooden coasters, and are definitely one of the best wooden coaster manufacturers out there, without a doubt. So number 6 is going to be yet another solely wooden roller coaster manufacturer, and this is going to be the Gravity Group, based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. This company was founded back in 2002, and they're really just recently starting to make a name for themselves. They have some great wooden coasters that even have inversions, such as like the Jungle Trailblazer models. They've also produced some great other coasters like Cuckooland and Time Travel, Ravine Flyer 2, the Boardwalk Bullet, which is a crazy compact wooden coaster. They also transformed Hades at Mount Olympus into Hades 360 and gave it an inversion. So those are all cool, but what this company is mainly known for, which is actually their second coaster they ever built back in 2006, is going to be the Voyage at Holiday World, the second longest wooden coaster on the planet, and has the second most airtime out of any coaster on the planet. It has over 24 seconds of airtime and is well over 6,000 feet long. It is just a monstrous wooden coaster and has the most airtime out of any wooden coaster in the world, which that's just a crazy ride that really put Gravity Group, or gave Gravity Group like a name for themselves in the industry. They just produced some really solid wooden coasters. Their main market is China right now, but they have produced a decent amount of stuff in the US, and I definitely think they will continue to grow into a truly great company in the future. So number 5 is going to be Bulgur and Mabillard, based out of Monty, Switzerland. This company was founded in 1988 by two of the head manufacturers from the former company, Gio Vinola, Walter Bulgur and Claude Mabillard. And this company probably is the best variety of any manufacturer. They produce so many types of coasters, hyper coasters, giga coasters, wing coasters, dive coasters, floorless coasters, stand-up coasters, sit-down coasters. And they just produce so many different types of coasters. And their quality is definitely good. The rides are very reliable. They're a bit on the expensive side, but they definitely last a while. I don't think the rides are the best anymore. I definitely think before like 2000 they made some really intense rides like inverts and some sit downs, and those are definitely better than what they're creating now. But they're still creating some pretty good rides like Flying Dinosaur, which is a flying coaster. But other than that, most of their more recent rides like Fury 325, Orion, Leviathan, Banshee don't look quite as intense as some of their older rides like Montu or Pyrenees, which could be the best coaster that they produced. I'm not really sure. I think the best coaster they produce is between like Kumba or Pyrenees probably. They created the world's first inverted coaster with Batman the Ride. But I feel like what they're just holding them back is they don't innovate quite as much as some other companies. They have, done some innovative things like with, Batman the Ride. but they're just not as willing to take risks as some other companies, especially recently. They seem to play it safe a lot more, but they definitely have a lot of different coasters, and their coasters are still very fun, but it's just not the best manufacturer, but they definitely are a very well-rounded manufacturer, and it makes sense why Parkz would definitely want to buy from them. So number 4 is going to be ThrillRides, based out of Württemberg, Germany, founded in 1780. This company is mostly known for their Wild Mice coasters, which they've produced a ton of. Just to name a few, you have the Dark Knight coasters at some of the Six Flags parks, Apple's Apple at King's Dominion, Ricochet at Carowinds, Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster at Warner Bros. Movie World, and just plenty others. These rides do get pretty repetitive, but they're decent family coasters, but they're kind of all over. But they have produced, some original coasters. They have several spinning coasters like Sierra Sidewinder or Turbulence. They started recently producing their extreme spinning coaster with Time Traveler at Silver Dollar City, which is a very cool ride. They produce many multi-launch coasters like the Blue Fire, Copperhead Strike, Icon, Helix, as well as hyper coasters, including Flash, and by far their best coaster, DC Rivals Hyper Coaster at Warner Bros. Movie World, which is a really unique and cool hyper coaster. It features a curved drop, some really crazy airtime moments, a non-inverting loop, and backwards facing seats at the back of the train. So that's a very cool ride. So this company is mainly known for those, but they definitely produce some really good coasters, and I definitely see them having a very bright future. One of the most talked about manufacturers and on the rise manufacturers is at number 3, Rocky Mountain Construction, based out of Hayden, Idaho, founded in 2001. This company spent a while, in fact about a decade, just fixing up old rough wooden coasters, but they didn't really do anything major until 2011 when they converted the Texas Giant at Six Flags Over Texas into the new Texas Giant, a hybrid coaster. They made it taller, faster, steeper, gave it overbanked turns, lots of airtime hills. And that pretty much started their beginning. And they've just been a huge manufacturer ever since, just in the industry. They've produced tons of hybrid coasters which have crazy inversions, banked turns, airtime moments, super steep drops. Parks are clamoring for, their old wooden coasters to be converted into hybrid steel coasters. Which are basically, they take the wooden structure, they keep the wooden structure, but they give it this hybrid steel track, which allows it to do these crazier elements. And these are very popular. Enthusiasts love them. The general public love them. They really boost attendance at parks and just give ridership a new life into these old wooden coasters. But they have also produced single rail coasters with their Raptor and T-Rex models. The Raptor models currently are Railblazer and Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster, and they're producing Jersey Devil this year at Six Flags Great Adventure. And even their T-Rex models, which haven't been built yet, but I could definitely see being built soon, can go over 500 feet, which is crazy. They've also produced wooden roller coasters, such as Outlaw Run at Silver Dollar City, which is really the first modern wooden inverting coaster, or at least successful one, because we all know what happened to Son of Beast. Wildfire at Colmartin, Goliath at Six Flags Great America, and the world's first launch wooden roller coaster, Lightning Rod at Dollywood. So this company is definitely super innovative. They do produce some great rides. I believe the rides can get kind of repetitive. A lot of them do the same elements, but there's still some really fun coasters. Great airtime on these rides, really fun inversions and bank turns, great drops. They do produce some great rides, and they're definitely on the rise and definitely have a bright future ahead of them. So number 2 is probably the most on the rise manufacturer right now. This is Vakama, based out of Laudrop, Netherlands. This company was founded in 1926, and they used to be characterized for making some really bad rides back in the 90s and early 2000s with their boomerangs, SLCs, and their MK1200s, all just really bad, rough, cloned looping coasters that people really just hated. But new Vakama has definitely proved people wrong. This company has truly risen up with all their new models. Their Firestorm, the Bermuda Blitz, Shockwave, the Hop Gun models. They've already produced some of these with Let Coaster, the first ever Bermuda Blitz at Legendia, Formula One at Energylandia. They're producing Abyssus, coming to Energylandia, I think this year, either this year or next year, I don't totally remember. And I actually got to ride Dragonflyer at Dollywood this past summer, which is basically kind of my first peek into what new Vakama has done, and it's a great family coaster. So I definitely think Vakama is really going in the right direction with all these new models, and they went from being one of the, worst and most hated manufacturers out there to being definitely one of the best, if not soon, the best manufacturer out there. This is the definition of the comeback kid of manufacturers. And we've come to the number one spot. What could it be? How about Intamin? This company is based out of Wallerau, Switzerland. They were founded in 1967. This company's really innovated the coaster game with the first 300-foot coaster with Millennium Force, the first coaster with a hydraulic launch with Accelerator, first 400-foot coaster with Top Thrill Dragster, the first 100-mile-per-hour coaster with Superman the Escape. And this company just produces some insane coasters like Intimidator 305, El Toro, Skyrush, Expedition G-Force, Maverick, Ice Speed, just so many other great ones, T-Express. This company's produced just some of the most intense rides out there. I think that's what they do best. The rides are just crazy intense, insane bank turns, great airtime moments, really good laterals, super fast-paced rides. However, unfortunately, with them being, a very innovative company, it does come at a cost. The rides do experience lots of downtime, but they are very good rides. They've created giga coasters, hyper coasters, launch coasters, family coasters like their motorbike coasters, and many others too, looping coasters as well. They did take a break from the U.S., for a few years recently. However, they have come back to the U.S. I've made a whole video about that. I'll leave a link to that in the description. But this company just really has created some of the best coasters, and just with their innovation, with all their world's first coasters, and just, they have a pretty good variety of coasters too, and produce multiple types of flat rides as well. They don't just produce coasters. They produce like drop towers and stuff, as well as like looping pirate ship rides. So this company just produces some awesome rides, and definitely have a great future ahead of them. They've had a great past. And just in general, I think Intamin is the best manufacturer, but that's just my opinion. So that'll be about it for this video. Sorry if this is quite long. I just found I had a lot to talk about with each of these manufacturers. But now the video's coming to an end. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. What do you guys think are the best manufacturers out there? You don't have to agree with me. Feel free to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and why you think certain manufacturer is better than another. This is just my opinion of the best manufacturers based off those certain things I mentioned earlier. But yeah, make sure to leave your thoughts in the comment section below what you thought of this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you guys are new, and I'll see you in the next one.